Hey guys, Afro Tez here and welcome to my YouTube channel. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for the amazing feedback that we've received on the Twitter page. I've decided to take it a step further and start a YouTube channel. So I'll be using the channel to upload daily analysis as I have been doing on my Twitter, and I'll also be uploading tutorials. I've had lots of feedback of people wanting to know how do I actually analyze graphs, how do I know when to enter and when to exit. And I think that's valuable information for any investor. So I'll be using this platform for that as well. With my daily analysis, I will still be continuing uploading it on Twitter. I know people have got different data situations, so I'll be using both platforms. And if there's any more information that you would actually like me to include in this channel, you can let me know on Twitter. I try my best to answer all the inboxes I get, or you can just leave a comment down in the description and I will let you know if I can include that. Okay guys, so I'm gonna answer some of the frequently asked questions I receive on Twitter. After those, I will tell you a bit more about myself. So let's get started. Okay, so we have Moyo1155. He wanted to know about resistance and support, types of stocks for trading versus holding on to, and my favorite stocks. Starting with my favorite stocks, it's Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Spotify. Those are the big five investment go-to options. Most investment companies in South Africa, they dump their stuff in those stocks. I've been invested in those for 5 years and I haven't seen any loss. These are not stocks you really want to trade daily in. So let's go to the next one. Honorable Sir asked, how did I start? How to find short and long plays, how you know which stocks to pick, which is basically the first question. How do I analyze using Fibonacci, moving averages, and how to find support lines. So with the analysis stuff, that will be in the tutorials. I'm not going to answer that now because it's a whole lot of information and I'm trying to make this a very short video. How I started, I used to work for an investment company. I used to be a financial advisor 5 years ago, and I left. I realized that I had a knack for picking out very good investments, and I just rolled the ball from there. And I decided to actually go on Twitter and make it public. I noticed that Sasso was a very large stock pick for most people, and that's when I started posting on Twitter. I really didn't anticipate the feedback I would receive, and that's why we're here. Next question. At Kahiso15, how to analyze charts. It will be in the tutorial. Next question. At Tix_Morel, companies to watch, how long to hold, when to release. Companies to watch, I've already mentioned the ones internationally. Those are like the go-to. If there's one I would pick in SA, the JSE, it would be Naspers. That's the biggest one, the most traded daily in terms of volume. If you have a long-term portfolio and you don't have Naspers in there, get it as soon as possible. Again, that's a stock you just buy for long-term hold. Forget about the daily fluctuations. Next question. Okay, we have I am Mufaro. He asked, how did I get started in analyzing companies and investing? How I started was, like I said, I used to work for an investment company, and what we would do is sell their investment products. One that stood out for me was a global equity fund. It had the best growth. Sometimes it would give out 16%, and in an investment company, that's a lot. What I then did is looked at what they were invested in. And like I said, what stood out was Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, the big five tech companies. And that's when I started analyzing why are these funds so important. And I then invested there myself. The next question was, how do I determine which companies to pick? It's all in the news and research. If you find a stock that has dropped, you have to find out why. You don't just want to buy into something. A lot of research goes into the stocks I pick, and I make sure that there is good growth or growth potential. You would have noticed that I'm invested in Redefine, companies like EOH, where I'm looking at what they used to be at and where they are now, and what are the chances of them getting to that point. If you look at companies like Apple, you look where they started and where they are now. They barely ever have any drops, and if they do, they quickly recover. So that's another thing I do, but a lot of research goes into picking stocks. I don't just pick willy-nilly. I do my research, read the news, read daily info on the company. That does help a lot. Your next question was, am I a short or long-term investor or a speculator? So it depends. I do have my long-term investments in place, including my self-managed funds and funds that are managed by an investment company. The ones that I play short-term, it's the ones I analyze daily, solely because of the fluctuations that they have. You would have noticed that on my daily analysis, I point out where we can make profits from the drops. So I'm kind of a bit of both. I think a speculator is kind of a short-term investor as well. My top 5 long-term holdings, I've already mentioned those. How long have I been holding them? For 5 years. Next question. Okay, we have one from @bra_soloist. He's asking when to buy, morning or afternoon. It's always best to buy in the morning. That's when the markets are most volatile. You would have noticed with some of the charts, especially Sasol this week, you either know where it's going to go in the morning. If you come late to the party, you've got a lot of catching up to do. What daily traders mostly do is in the morning they set a target for themselves, pick a stock. Once they've made the target, they close office, they go home. Morning is always the best. Can I buy on a Friday afternoon before closure? I wouldn't advise it. I don't. Like I said, in the morning, that's when a lot can happen on the weekend. You don't want to buy a stock and then on Monday you find out that it's crashed and you've lost all your money. Yeah, and I think those are all the questions. Thanks. Okay guys, those are the questions I received so far. And now to tell you more about myself, I think I've answered most of the questions that you were dying to know. I studied at a university, I studied accounting, I worked at an investment company. I wasn't happy, I left. I do have a daily job, so I do have a 9 to 5. I'm not just sitting at my computer all day trading stocks. You should know that. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm sure you would have seen a lot of me disclaiming that on Twitter, on most of my analysis. I'm not a financial advisor. If you guys ask me, should you buy or sell, I really can't answer that question. My analysis is just where I'm buying and selling, and then you guys can make the decision from there. I think that's all. If there is anything else you would want to know, just pop me a question in the comment section or on Twitter. And that's it guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be posting my very first video analysis tonight for Monday, and stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching guys. Peace. By the way guys, I'd like to tell you about the new product offered by Easy Equities called Easy Properties. If you haven't checked it out yet, the link is in the description. You can just read up on the information provided on the page. I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting investment opportunity for most of you. You can then just sign up for early access. There is a waiting queue. Launch was delayed due to the coronavirus. And if you share your link with other people, you can move up the list. I think it's definitely a great investment opportunity you would like to get into. Thanks.